first, let me share with you 3 mistakes that I see happen in the beginning before we get to really developing our personal brand and showcasing ourselves as human beings that have this expertise and this uniqueness about us and how we can serve others. Okay. So the first thing is we overemphasize on perfecting our visual branding. Here's what I'm talking about: your logo, your fonts, your colors, your website design. I did it too. In fact, I spent time creating my own hot mess of a website. It's not the one that you see today. I spent way too much time trying to create a logo, figuring out colors. It's not what it is today. And I had nobody to sell to. None of that matters if people don't know who you are first. I realized that, thankfully, I would say probably about a year in. So I could have wasted a lot more time. But I realized that when I started to just have more conversations with people online and I started to do live video, and I'm like, why am I wasting my time on all of this BS? It's clearly not creating this synergy with my ideal clients because they're not getting to know me. So I put a pause on all that. And here's the thing: I had a really crappy website up until 2 years ago, guys. My website launched in 2009, my old website. It wasn't until 2 years ago that we did a rebrand. And between 2009 and 2 years ago, what was that, 2022, I was already at a multiple 6-figure a year business with a crappy website. Why? Because of what I'm going to share with you with the 10 steps that I did. Okay. The second mistake is chasing every new marketing trend. This is what I live, eat, breathe, and sleep. Marketing and advertising I have for over 2 decades. Since right out of college, I was hired at iHeartRadio. I worked there for 10 years in advertising. I was a senior account advertising rep there. And then I opened my agency in 2009. Since then, I could jump on every single marketing trend that there is. And let me tell you, there are hundreds, and they all work to their own advantage. And I use many of them. However, there are anchor marketing strategies that work no matter what is happening in the world. And one of those is showing up as a human being better with video. The third thing is waiting for your offer to be perfect before sharing your offer. That's another common mistake, is obsessing over creating the perfect offer, course, or program. Your offers, your courses, your programs are going to evolve the more that you talk with more potential clients and the more clients that you have. It is not going to stay the same. So delaying the launch of your business or delaying sharing about your business and what you do because you need it to be perfect, guys, your ideal clients, they're waiting to find you. And the more that you stop from showing up, the more you're going to miss out on those ideal clients because they're going to find somebody else who they need right now, not a year from now, not 3 months from now until you get it perfected. You guys ready for it? So these are 10 foundational steps to building your personal brand. Number 1, your unique voice. Write down your unique voice. Here's what I mean by that. I want you to write down your experiences, your skills, your personality, I am statements. What do people come to you for? What words do you like to use? What words don't you like to use in your brand or in the way that you speak? Your mistakes, your successes, your unique approach to problem solving. Think about your childhood experiences. I talk about this a lot in my brand. And when I do my workshops, I share about this also in how it's part of my brand story. And I talk about how I grew up as a competitive dancer, which I loved. I still dream about dancing, but I also was scared of the stage. And what got me through that and actually showing up was looking at people's faces, the choreography, the makeup, the costumes, all of the pieces put together. And for me, all of those pieces put together is part of marketing too, right? So think about your childhood, the things that you maybe struggled with, the things that you overcame. Okay. So that's number 1, your unique voice. Number 2, know your crowd. What do I mean by this? Know your audience, guys. I want you to write down a story of who your ideal client is using a real name. Talk about their day, their daily life. Do they have kids? Do they not have kids? Are they married? Not married? What are they struggling with? Do they like to work out? Not work out? What kinds of foods do they eat? What kinds of TV shows do they like to watch? Do they read books? What kind of people do they follow? What influencers do they follow? You got to know these things. And if you don't know these things, then I would suggest start having conversations with people. The third thing is you want to be visually consistent, meaning you want to consistently show up visually, whether that's on video and images of yourself. I'm not talking about professional brand photo shoots. Those are great too. I have them, but I rarely use those. Usually you're just seeing like funny faces of me or with a client or showing myself like on a training or something like that, right? It's just throughout the day, like things that just pop up that I'm like, you know what? This would be a great visual to show what I'm doing throughout the day. So people get to know me, but be consistent with that. Okay. So visual consistency. Number 4, value-packed content. Here's what I mean by value-packed. Share personal experiences that relate to your business. Share your life. You don't have to share like, the nitty gritty of any conflict in your life, but just share things, share challenges, share your own struggles, share your wins, celebrate your clients, case studies, share actionable steps that people can take like I'm doing right now. This is value-based, right? Share tips, break down complex concepts. Share frequently asked questions that people ask you. Answer those in your content. Those are great pieces of content. You don't constantly have to be selling or feeling like you're selling. The more that you can share value-based content online, closer, people will say yes to you when it is time to make an offer. Number 5 is having a strategic social presence. Having a strategic social presence does not mean that you have to have your program ready. That is not strategy. This means showing up, but being very strategic about it. I will be honest with you. Every single piece of content that I put on social media, it has a purpose. I don't have time to waste on social media. And this is what I do for a living, right? I actually run 3 businesses. I have 2 kids, one that's getting ready to go to college. I'm married. I set boundaries. I don't work on the weekends. I used to before I used to do this. That's the thing. I have peace of mind that I'm providing value. We have a full line of clients that we work with, but I'm very strategic, right? So we need to be strategic for our own benefit and also for everyone else's. All right. Number 6, direct engagement with people. Here's what I mean by that. Guys, respond back to people that leave you a comment. People that like your content, send them a personal message and say, hey, thanks so much for liking my content. There's nothing wrong with that. You don't have to sell them, but just like be a human being. Look, when somebody likes your piece of content, it's almost like somebody giving you a compliment in person. Like, do you just ignore them and walk away? No, you say something, right? So take a moment, but be strategic also to who you do that with. Okay. Number 7, network. We have to step out of our little bubble. Network in communities, whether online and or in person. Don't just like be in your own bubble and even in your own masterminds. And also network with people in your masterminds. I am in 2 business masterminds. I have 2 business coaches and we network constantly inside of those. Also, when you're networking, put yourself in containers or in networking environments with people that are going to move you to the next level, not bring you down. So be very specific with who you are networking with, okay? But get yourself out there. You want to be in communities that are relevant to your business, that also may have ideal clients for you, and participate in discussions. Offer your expertise. Number 8 is simplicity. And you're like, well, what does that have to do with my personal brand? A lot. Because if you don't focus on the simple things and you make things like way too complicated, you're just going to be all over the place. And it's going to be hard for you to focus on areas that are elevating you as a personal brand. So keep things simple. Number 9, feedback loops. You want to make sure that when you are doing certain things on social media or when you're having conversations with clients, that you are asking questions so that you are getting feedback. Here's something I want to know from you guys. Have these 9 tips been helpful for you on how to really build your personal brand, right? That's a feedback loop. I want to know if this has been helpful. Ask questions. Ask questions to your current clients. When you're doing discovery calls or consultation calls, those are great feedback loops. I always end my sessions with, so tell me, was this helpful, right? What wasn't helpful? What would you like to know more about? What do you feel is missing from this conversation? Have a conversation so that you can get more feedback. And then number 10 is authenticity. Do not unwaver on being authentic. Do not hold back on showing who you are. Be you. I mean, that's really the bottom line. Be you. Have conviction in your thoughts. It's scary sometimes and it takes courage. But if you really want to make an impact and you want to be a leader and you want people to see you as somebody that they can count on and depend on as their coach, consultant, professional service provider, you must be yourself and be authentic and be real and raw. Showcasing your daily life is one way of doing this, both personally and professionally, just being human. The more relatable that you can be, the more resonant you are going to be with your ideal clients. All right. So have a beautiful rest of your week and remember to stay social. Bye, guys.